episode
55.
or season 2, episode 3. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, if you want to go that way, you can do.
Interesting podcast today. We were talking to...
Action-packed.
It is action-packed. The podcast geek himself, podcast geek.
Podcast expert.
Mr. David O'Gara.
And former Boardsmill resident.
Yeah. I didn't actually know Dave was from
looking.
Boardsmill. I knew him and Paul were friends, but I didn't know he's from
He lived
Boardsmill.
down the road.
Find out what that's
opposed.
about.
Exactly.
In the upcoming podcast. We had some interesting facts about the Lewis.
Yes.
We talked about a really old woman.
Yes.
Really old.
Really old.
Super duper old, and her key to life,
Her secret,
and why she lived for so long.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the rise of podcasts, where the podcast started off.
Yep.
If you're a beginner podcaster, what you should do to get into podcasting
And how to make money on podcasts.
Yes.
That's most. But you were very interested about the money.
I was,
making
yes.
element.
Johnny likes the money.
Yes, money.
You got very into that bit.
Damn right. Business.
And we covered our weekends as well,
Business
as always.
geek.
As always. Yeah.
We finished with some shell bombs.
and a nice little waffle game in there as well.
Also stuck in a bit of Robbie trivia too.
Yeah.
And guess who won? No.
No. Don't
Yeah,
give it away.
guess who won? We don't know.
Don't give it away.
No,
So let's get round to naming it now. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't hear this name and pretend that I'm reacting in the moment, because it's a good name.
So
But
what-
I don't think I can fake it.
No, I think we're going to go with that one, but we'll give
we gotta hear yours
ours
as well,
and
though.
then give John third place.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So my suggestion is Cast Me Aside.
Oh.
Because of podcasting. Cast Me Aside.
I was just going straight for Dave Cast.
Davecast is good too.
Yeah,
No, I
it's okay.
Okay, John.
John, what's your...
I kind of went with O'Gara Geek.
Oh, Gary Geek. We got it.
He's an O'Gara and he's
We still laughed the
That does
second time
actually
round.
make
To
me
be fair.
O'Gara Geek.
Okay, so episode 55, season 2, episode 3.
O'Gara Geek.
Yeah, waffle me this, waffle me that. Thinking of the topics that you all could have had. The only game that makes me feel so alive. I'm guessing for 30, it could be only 5. Getting them all would be a superpower. You would get it every week on the JP Waffle Hour. The JP Waffle Hour. The JP Waffle Hour. The JP Waffle Hour. The JP Waffle
Line.
I love that song. I love that song.
You're getting weak, John. You're getting weak on it.
Sorry, that was a bit different this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was weird.
I do love this song though.
No, it's a great song.
We never got to
I hope
hear
you guys
the
love
Christmas version.
No, well,
Is
We're
that in
working
your
on it.
news?
We're working on it.
no, it's not my news.
Oh.
That was a disaster though. I lost the Christmas version of our jingle to a tiled floor. My laptop fell on the tiled floor.
We should have listened to it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should have listened to it last week.
I'll make it again. I'll make it 2 times as better. Just 2. I'm not going to put any more effort into 2.
of us.
Not a million times, just 2.
Just 2.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode number 55.
Wow, 55.
Double ladies, or is no?
No, are you thinking 2 fat ladies? That's
Yeah.
88.
Oh,
88 is too bad, ladies.
what's 55?
No idea.
2 ducks? No, it's 22. 55.
2 beer bellies.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's call it that.
2 lads standing in a weird shape.
Tablet P.
As always, I hope you enjoyed episode number 54. It's tubbing time, where we talked about Gandalf's exploits out in the field, marking Yo's bums.
Can we have an update about Gandalf, how to get on and all that jazz? I'm sure people want to know.
Yes, but first of all, we also talked about Christmas markets last week, which was the main topic.
Oh, yeah.
Gandalf is now up to 6 out of 8.
I know someone who went to a Christmas market at the weekend
Right.
and they said it was great.
Oh, which one did
Wow.
they go to?
The Galway one.
Oh, well, if they said Galway was great, wait till they go to a good one.
Really liked it. It was a bit small, but they said it was. It wasn't disappointing.
That
Did they go down
started
to
a bit
Galway?
early. I didn't think they were starting until the 22nd.
It was on this weekend. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
And they went to Galway just for the market, or they're down there?
No, they're down there anyway, and then there's the market was on. So
Galway was nice. It is small around Ayr Square, but like this still got some stands and
It's
stuff.
very early though, isn't it? That's a long time
Yeah,
for someone to have a stall doing
definitely.
it every day.
well, I suppose Christmas time. If you're selling Christmas stuff,
Hmm.
I mean, you want to be in as early as you can. It's a bit seasonal, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
actually it is seasonal.
No.
I'm buzzing for our Christmas toy show episode next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Buzzing for
I
it.
can't wait for the toy show.
Can we bring in toys for the actual podcast?
If you want to.
Class.
Love it.
But as always, make sure to rate, like, share, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you see us. We're popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We're like chicken pox.
Awesome. Jesus.
What brought that into your head?
Don't itch us.
They pop up all over the place.
Someone said to me actually recently as well that they had shingles. Some of them had shingles.
It's so
that's
popular
not
now.
great.
It's
So hot
big,
right now.
it's a trend on TikTok.
Anyway, yeah.
Who has got the most shingles?
How was your weekend, lads?
That's what I was waiting for.
And
Jesus,
I
I
got
was
to
like-
it first. I thought you were going to do it again
Yeah.
this
No,
week.
I was like
No.
looking at you thinking,
You have to get there. You have to get-
I
take
don't
it
want to
back
piss him
over.
off. I don't want to piss him off.
You upset the natural order of things last week, and
Yeah.
I don't know where I am now.
Well, we're back to our original lineup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the non-flag lineup.
Yeah, we actually
That's right.
we just naturally sat here.
Yeah.
That's the way we used to be.
In the old office. We're here for a special reason today. We've got a special guest. We'll introduce him later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I moved some sheep.
You moved the sheep around. Now, was that to do with their bottoms?
No, this is the Yo lambs from this year. 2022 stock. They were down the road in the field, and now they're up the road in the field.
Right.
Different field.
And
New grass.
Irishly speaking, we know
Oh, new
exactly
grass.
what you mean when you say down the road, then they went up the road. Anybody else listening probably
I
wouldn't.
have a wee acre down the road, and I have a wee acre up the road,
Yeah.
and I have a few acres at the house.
Happy Jesus.
What determines up and down the road?
The elevation.
Is it really? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I know.
I think up the road is as further away from the local town.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, so if you're coming from Trim and you're heading away from Trim, then that's up the road.
Oh, heading to where you live.
Yeah.
I think if you're living somewhere and you're heading towards, say, your town, that's going up the road.
Okay, you know, maybe you're right, yeah.
And then going down the road is like
But
heading into the
if I
country.
was in Trim, I'd be going out the road.
Oh, yeah, that's true as
Yeah.
well. Out the road's a different one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're heading out the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're heading in a traditional direction, it's out the road. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Up the road was always towards kindergarten, down the road was always towards Trim.
Yeah. I think it's like towards Dublin is up the road. And
maybe.
down the road is heading towards the
Heading
Midlands.
up to Dublin.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
kindergarten
up to Dublin for the day. Yeah, up
Yeah.
to Dublin.
And and Dublin is technically north.
No,
Yeah,
it's more
not.
sideways to us.
Yeah.
I'm heading over to Dublin.
Well, Trim is east from me, and kindergarten is west from me.
Right.
Rappin Line would be north-ish. No,
Jeez, the
that's
Bermuda
south, is it?
Triangle of Meath from
Oh,
there.
All I know is because the car has the thing on it,
What?
the sat nav, because I've sat
You
nav
sure
in the new car,
you're not driving a boat.
Well,
and it says S on it when you're going south, and then
Is your steering wheel one of those things that like you have to spin it around like
Oh,
this?
yeah.
And it's got like the.
It is.
Is there a parrot in your car?
No, but I might get one.
You sir are driving
It
a
came
boat.
with a patch.
All right.
Yes.
I'm only confident turning left. So you were doing lamb stuff, sheep stuff all weekend.
Yeah,
Is that all you're up to?
Video,
that was
you
Saturday.
videoed it as well.
And- Yeah. Put a little TikTok up of them being released. The new bite of grass.
Was there football this weekend? You were football?
Well, I was down in Kilconvert in Offaly.
all right. Okay.
That's
I
like
was about to ask where that
never
was.
heard of Glugamon.
No, neither have I.
Oh, these places! I was there once last year, and I was back there again this year now on Sunday.
What's it called? Kilconvert.
Is there any other villages in
I'll be
Ireland
saying
called
it wrong now, to be fair.
any other villages end with vert in Ireland? Like, it's very French kind
Manor
of
of
name, isn't
Felt.
It is, yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
it? Kilconvert.
Maybe it is a French village. Is it?
Yeah, is it the only a little province of France that came in and like took
I don't
over
know.
one little village
Yeah.
in
I
Offaly?
didn't see many croissants.
Or-
Kilconville.
Kilconvert.
Welcome to Kilconville.
Offaly.
Come to Offaly.
The French invasion of Offaly.
Yeah.
So you were football and yous are back doing bits. Is it pre-season?
Yeah, that's the fourth session now. And
So do we have championship segments coming up now again?
not till next year.
Oh, okay.
The league starts on I think the 22nd of January, so we'll have league segments.
Oh yeah, whatever. You bring it on.
If you want that.
Me and,
Yeah.
me and John are well in this year.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Are you going? Are we going St. Pat's Manalvi again?
Oh, that's club football. That's not the August.
That's
Oh right, we're talking county.
This is county.
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 Can I go? I'm going to go county down.
County Down.
Yeah.
Also, a full county.
Yeah,
Full county.
Where do you have to take
I'm going
a
to
full
go.
county?
I'm going to go Kerry then.
well, in
Kerry.
Yeah.
You're from Meath. You're wearing a Meath hoodie right now.
No, but the family is from Kerry. We're Kerry people.
Are you really Kerry people? Yeah.
Kerry people.
didn't know that.
Ernest
I thought you were
Up the
very.
road there from Tralee.
remember
very
we talked
sound.
about it with all the servants that they had down there.
Oh, I don't
Rich
listen to this
family.
podcast.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I only listen to good podcasts.
Oh,
I've only been putting on my accent.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, I thought you had an air of like a countryman, some sort of like down the country sort of
Oh yeah,
vibe to
you
you.
are Kerry people, all right.
Yeah. Bertie, you're definitely from Meath.
Yes,
Yeah.
since 1822.
That's a while ago, isn't it?
Yeah, that's as far back as I got.
1822, like 22 minutes past
That's as
6.
far back as you got. Like, are you in that Boards Mill part since
Yeah.
1822?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
in the field for the sheep are.
can...
I'm not messing.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that where you were conceived? Was it in the field?
No.
By a sheep.
But that's where like granddad's granddad started the family or whatever.
Mad.
Yeah.
In that field.
Beside the house, yeah.
God.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's where the cottage was.
Any treasure in there? Like, could you go digging and stuff and find stuff?
When you used to be ploughing or digging up the field for the strawberries, you used to pull up a few bits of stuff. There used to be like a tram in that field that like fed the sheep or the cows or whatever.
Right.
And went along tracks. We all pulled up lumps of tracks.
And would have been like back in the
Lovely.
day. Would have been like that movie, The Field. Like, would your great granddad now be going and picking the rocks and building a wall out of it?
I don't know now. He's meant to be a big unit of a fella anyway.
Big unit of a lad.
Yeah.
You know,
unit.
McLaughlin.
Hardy fucker. He once lost the top of his finger and just kept
And
on
found it
going.
again.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Did you find it, John?
Just kept on going.
What?
Yeah, he was standing on the back of an old tractor on the linkage, which you're not obviously meant to do.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
safe.
Hmm.
But back in the day, that's what they did. And
Back they had a different emphasis on
yeah,
it.
Back in the day.
yeah, but
Right,
they,
back in the day.
they lifted the links up, and his finger got caught in the links. Just
Shite.
chopped it straight off. Never said anything.
Just carried on.
Went from Killeen back down to the house, and then went to hospital.
There's so many
We went to
stories of
hospital,
that
yeah.
back in the day. Like, my granddad died, but he died of pneumonia.
Right.
And but basically he died from going out in the horse and cart in the snow to go feed the cows. And basically didn't go out. I think he went out with a jumper on him
No way.
and came back and got pneumonia and passed away.
That
But
was
they,
it?
they just not about him heading out there.
Janie. What age was he?
No idea.
Right.
He died when my father was 5 years old, so I didn't even meet him myself.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Okay. It was a long, long time ago.
Oh yeah, down Kerry.
How about your... oh, you were from Kerry.
There
Yeah, I
you
remember
go.
that.
It all links in.
Yeah,
it all
yeah.
links in.
And you were
It's a
talking about a
circle.
link that took off the
Yeah.
fingers.
And
so
it's a
yeah.
link in the fingers.
Oh my god.
How was your weekend, John Boy? What'd you get up to, boy?
My weekend was quiet again because the mother-in-law was over
Right.
from Lithuania, so
Wow.
we
So
entertained her for the
y-
weekend.
You were
Over-
somewhere else, obviously, were you?
Over
Oh,
from
I have-
Lithuania.
Yeah.
It's over from, yeah.
Over from Lithuania.
Up,
yeah,
up the road.
up the road from Lithuania. Yeah, so I collected her on Saturday or Friday in the airport, and she was with us there for the weekend. Yeah.
Lovely. Is she going straight back?
No, she's going home next Friday.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that's a bit of a trip, isn't it? Like, you want to stay for a week or two, don't you?
Yeah. No, she's great now. She's minding the kids and all that kind of stuff while we go to work.
Oh, that's
Save us a bit of
lovely.
money on the crash.
Lovely.
course, yeah.
And will you do a bit of dating now that the mother-in-law's over? You'll head off for a night or so?
We might sneak away. I have an old gin event on Thursday, so we're going to go up to Dublin City.
Up to
Up to
Dublin.
Dublin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not over to Dublin. Very good.
Heading
very good.
southeast or northeast to Dublin.
And so, all right, that's this weekend.
Thursday, I'm heading over
Oh, Thursday.
up
Okay,
in
okay.
Dublin somewhere.
Get your freak on.
Very good.
Yeah, so
You always have to bring it back to sex.
we might
don't
head to
you?
the Christmas.
I thought they were going dancing.
No, we're not going to go dancing, but maybe the
Oh,
Christmas market's on
apologies.
Stephen's Green, is it?
Going to drop like it's hot.
We might go for a little sneaky pint in the pub or something.
You're so full of innuendo.
What?
In
That's a good
innuendo. Okay, did you see Garda, who took the Lewis to finish
Oh,
Dublin
Jesus, I was so
Marathon,
pissed
I've seen
off
that, yeah.
has been stripped of his medal, and he was an anti-what? What type of guard was he?
Cheat.
Anti-runner?
Anti-corruption guard.
Oh, good lord.
So
Couldn't write it. Very Irish.
a guard was forced to return his medal after it was discovered that he took the Lewis to complete the marathon. His race time finished in the top 6% of the... He still finished just inside the top 6%. Like, there were some people in the race in the top 5% above him who didn't take a Lewis.
How did you find out? Just
There must be footage.
CCTV.
There'd been footage on the Lewis, yeah.
Oh.
Strange that he was doing an average of 10 minutes per mile in the first half of the run, then dropped to 6 minutes per mile in the last part of the
That's
run.
probably how they found out then. Everybody has a tracker, don't they?
Yeah. What a gobda.
You see the green line going, oh, that's the route, and straight up. And I'm like,
His one was taking a Lewis route.
How did you do 40 mile an hour? How did you do that?
That's amazing. So yeah, he got stripped of his thing.
God.
Fair play to him.
he didn't lose his job, all right.
No.
No,
I
no.
don't think he should. I mean, like, yeah, it's
He
just
definitely got a slagging back in the station.
He
Oh,
did.
definitely, yeah.
Well, it's on Lad Bible there, so yeah, he got there. And my second and last piece of news for today is a woman who turned 101 says tequila is the secret to a
Tequila.
long life. I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
The NBC 15 reported that Mary Flip of Chandler, Arizona, Mary Flip.
Her name is Flip.
Yeah, who lived through the Great Depression, multiple wars, and birthed 6 children, believes indulging in the Mexican liquor is a sure way to secure a long life. That's what she says.
Yeah.
Tequila. What's your opinion on that?
Oh yeah, look, alcohol is good for the body. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it opens up your veins, gets your blood flowing.
I like it.
Obviously, too much of it in moderation, all that jazz.
Yeah.
She didn't drink too much of it if she's only 6 kids.
Like there are people that live
Yeah.
up to 100 and they have a glass of gin every day, gin and tonic a day.
Right. Yeah, but she moved to Mexico when she was 18, and that's where her affinity for tequila came from. And she was 101. Isn't that amazing?
And she's still alive, like.
Yeah, still alive. Yeah, yeah. Do you think you'll live past 100?
I want to live to 100 to get the money off the president.
You're such a
How much do you get? 150 quid or something?
No, it's like 2,000 quid or something.
Is it? I thought it was 1,000.
Well, I think it was £1,000.
And did you know everyone, because of the Good Friday Agreement, I was talking to my dad about this, everyone up north gets money from,
Do they get pounds?
I don't know if it's converted over. Yeah, probably, I guess, yeah. But they get a letter as well
From who?
Oh, yeah. President.
from the President of Ireland,
Really?
whoever is the President of Ireland, and from the Queen as well.
Well, they have said that in
Or
this
King, sorry. Queen's gone.
someone's already been born that's going to live to be 110. To put it that way, like, because they're saying the technology now, everybody's getting older every single time, so it's very possible that Bertie there, fit and healthy, now a bit of drink or cigarette in him, he could live to at least 105.
No, it's never people who are like fit and live clean.
Yeah.
It's always people who smoke like trains.
True.
Are really unhealthy that live really, really long lives.
Yeah. No, it is true, actually.
I'm going to have like an iron deficiency from not drinking Guinness.
Yeah, you better start just smoking every day and drinking. All right, let's get on to our main topic.
Yeah,
Let's do
sure
it.
thing.
All right, here we go. First of all, we should probably introduce our guest.
We seem to be really bad at introducing guests.
Yeah, we went to Ages. Remember that time we went to Ages? And
Yeah, we're like, oh, there's somebody else here. I forgot about
So quiet in the corner.
So because we started our podcast and we're now in episode 55, we thought we better learn how to start a podcast. Probably a little bit late,
Yeah.
but you're
No better time.
These
Get
are all
some tips.
these were all the 55 were pilot episodes.
building up to starting a podcast today, right now.
Brilliant. Yeah. Episode 55. Time to start. Love it.
secretly, I've been knocking stuff off Dave, and I've been sending him messages since we've been starting to try and get little tips, try and get better.
No,
Yeah.
good. How does
There
that
you go.
Well, I mean,
You didn't share anything with us.
the intros, see the intros and how to segue
That was
between
Dave.
things. Well,
Thanks,
okay.
Dave.
Yeah.
So Dave is Dave
You are
O'Hare
welcome.
of podcast making fame.
You're a phony.
Do you want to give us your proper title, Dave? What's the name
Go
of
ahead.
the company?
Founder, CEO, head honcho, marketing, sales, accounts, like 6-7 people in one. So Podcast Geek seemed to just sum it up for me. So yeah, the Podcast Geek.
Nice.
Brilliant. And
That's cool.
so tell us what you do. What's your job?
Well, I'm really just talking to people that are looking to start podcasts and like brands, businesses that are it can be something that's just a niche interest, or it can be somebody that's trying to start a community, or even a brand that's really trying to build a community around what they're doing, what they're selling, what they're inspiring, educating, whatever. So yeah, I get those people from no knowledge to some knowledge to actually doing it, to getting used to doing it and then enjoying it, and the process goes on and on and on. So what we do is advise, educate, and then produce. So we produce everything that they send us. This is a great world of digital technology now. People can just send video files over, audio files over. I can just send it back when it's produced, cleaned up, all that good stuff. So it just means that the learning curve isn't like 12 weeks of doing a course. It's no, just send it to Dave. He's the nerd about all this stuff. He can get it all sorted and make it sound and look good. And that's what I've been doing. So every day I do that. I have a team of people that work with me. I ship work out to them as well. And they are all remote. They're not sitting here in the office with me. It's just me here and Luke. And I have a team for people in the US, people in Philippines, people in India. I have someone in the UK, and just the other day I started somebody that works in New York. So yeah, it's one of those things, and we all somehow meet once a week to just talk everything over. But it works, and yeah, we have a great team, audio and video editors, and we just produce for people worldwide. It's crazy. This niche is crazy. So podcasting is everywhere. So the work never ends.
Wow,
So,
incredible.
a few weeks ago, we had Paul in, and he's somewhat of an entrepreneur. So it kind of links it nice because you started this from scratch as well, as a company, as a business.
Yeah. It's something coming from Boards Mill and Paul being like my mentor for audio in the very beginning, Paul was like, he's the local DJ in the area. I don't need to tell you, Bertie, you're singing, the tunes. But Paul, like massive mentor of mine when I was starting DJing, and still is in many ways with his entrepreneurial mindset. He's got best business mind ever. But so I started with audio, doing DJing, etc., then producing audio and editing, etc., and then through that went to college for doing radio, and then that grew into working in radio. I worked for a few radio stations in Dublin, and then last year I got to a point where I need to start something new. I'm going to freelance online because all the gigs were obviously gone south because of COVID. So there's no more DJing on the plate. So I said, right, let's try and see if I can drum up some money online. I'm trying to save for a mortgage here, trying to get the old life going. And it worked. And people just jumped at me when I presented the opportunity. And since then it's just been this roll-on effect of more and more business. And that's why I've had to develop this team. And I mean, podcasting is not only something that was going to be big during COVID. People, especially businesses right now, are realizing it's an amazing marketing hack that you can really just affect people. You can inspire them, educate, entertain, all of that good stuff without saying, buy this for X amount of money. It's more so just about presenting value and just having good conversations with people and having takeaways that people can enjoy and stuff. So, that's kind of it. It just snowballed into this business, and now it's been growing month on month. And it's so surreal because coming from radio, like I left that job thinking, I'm going to give this a real shot. Like, I mean, married, kid, and house, and I was really risking quite a lot. But in the end, I just thought I'm going to just put all my cards on the table. I believe this is going to work, and thankfully it has.
And is it much different? Because obviously you didn't start out to be a podcast guru.
No.
With producing radio shows and stuff like that, is that a lot like podcasts, or is it like a completely different thing? Because obviously you're doing it for like individuals who mightn't be as good as what radio DJs or whatever might give you.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of similarities in the sense of the audio, how to make audio sound good, but how to produce a podcasting show, it's a different animal altogether. It's creating value for the exact niche of what your audience is. It's not just, today we're going to talk about Sally who got attacked by the postman walking down the road, and here's the podcast about it, and it's a talk show podcast. And that's something that I was doing while I was with the radio as well, was editing podcasts, but they weren't in the same format. It was just an hour of the talk show put online. The podcasts I deal with now are very, very different. They're more about what the audience wants and not about what's happening on the radio station. So it's a different animal altogether. But the format is I mean, I've done a bunch of courses over COVID to try and get myself up to speed, and since then I've just developed a bunch of knowledge between talking to clients, seeing what's working. I mean, there's some clients that I have that have just exploded over simple things like being in the right place at the right time, and just having one highlight clip of something that's just gone and done 50,000 views on Instagram or something, and then they exploded, and then Instagram likes them, and now they have a huge podcast, etc. So it's mad. But they cross over in some ways, but there was a lot of a learning curve there.
Do you think that radio is like the podcasting is going to take over from radio, that radio is becoming somewhat obsolete nowadays, and podcasting is where it's going to go?
That is the $1 billion question. For the sake of any of my previous employers listening, radio will never die. But for me personally, I look, I'll have the radio on if I'm listening in the car. But if I had a choice and I had one of those DAB radios or internet in the car, I would listen to whatever I want to listen to, because I just feel like we're in the day and age now where like, people aren't, I mean, Netflix, you watch what you want when you want, people want the on-demand stuff. They want it at your fingertips. They want it now. I feel like the same with when I listen to music, and that applies when I'm in the car too. So I'll put on something, if like I have a couple of CDs in the car that I will use. But what I'm saying, in the long term, I know someone like me, I'm not a big fan of radio because it doesn't play what I like to hear all the time, and I'm kind of selfish that way. So, but for everyone else, I mean, we are the most, if not one of the most traditional countries in the world. Like radio is always going to be around, and it's just going to be something in the background in Spar. It's going to be, someone in the tractor with the, Today FM on. It's going to be here forever, I think, because of the personal, here and now element to it. Like you can call in, you can interact, and there's that real element to interaction with it that I see the appeal to. And working for radio has helped me see that when I went out to meet the audience, of when we do listener parties and that, you see them and people love the presenters, and they almost feel like because these people are talking in their ears that they know them, and it's a real personal thing. So radio has a strong effect and it is powerful. But for me, I would definitely prefer podcasting. So if more people are like me, then you will see over time podcasting starting to go up and up in listenership. And
radio will stay for like live events, because like LMFM is great for like listening to the games that aren't on the telly or whatever.
Listen to him trying to get an LMFM there. Look,
we love LMFM here.
He's dropped an LMFM. There it is. We love LMFM.
But the thing about radio, I think, is that you have your DJs you like listening to.
Yeah.
And then obviously when they're not on, you're more inclined to switch off just for whatever reason, some you might like or whatever. Or like with podcasts, you can pick exactly what you want to listen to, because there's nearly a podcast for everything. Now, I know myself, on shorter trips, I'd always have the radio on. But if I'm going any longer than 15, 20 minutes, I'll probably put on a podcast to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone, man. That's the majority of people, to be honest with you. It's not just an entertainment thing. When you've like speakers in a car, you can listen to whatever you want. People want education, people want inspiration, people want, great stories, entertainment, and that's what podcasts can do. I mean, the amount of people that have been sending me links to podcasts about murder investigations, it's silly. Like, people are actual investigators themselves after season 2. Like, people just get so deep into the process and the stories. But yeah, they're so entertaining, and people are just, they get really, really into it. I haven't gone down the murder investigation and detective kind of podcast route yet myself, but it's hugely appealing, and you're not the only one, man. Like, everyone's digging into podcasts when they can, especially long journeys.
The education's the best part.
Yeah,
John's big on education over here.
Good man.
And you probably see a wide range of different types of podcasts. You get like the complete beginners. Do you have any advice, say, for someone who's starting out podcasting from the very, very start? They've got no equipment, nothing. What's the first step for people like that?
Well, the first step is thinking about what can you offer? What can you talk? What could you talk about forever? What could you just nonstop go and talk to somebody with for hours? And that's the thing you should probably zone in on, because not only are you passionate about it, you're knowledgeable about it, and you find it easy to talk about. So if you can find something within that niche, whatever that is, whether you're really into football or you're really into murder investigations or whatever the case is.
You're really into murder.
If you're really into murder investigations. But yeah, that's it's really whatever you can talk about for forever. And then from there, maybe you can niche down again into a specific area of that, like the detectives that discovered these cases or even solved these cases, etc. And then that's possibly where you could really start with. And then regarding like technical setup, I mean, there's some podcasts that have even started with the mobile phone, just the mic off a mobile phone, but because the content was interesting, people forgave the quality not being amazing, and stuck for content and value. So you can really, but that's not to say it's the best place to start. Like, the tolerance for low quality audio is so low. Like, people won't stick around for bad quality audio is from what I've seen out of the listenership figures, or the attention that I've seen with my clients, is that if quality isn't great in an episode, and they'll say, oh, we'll release it anyway because I really want to get this guest out, etc., you'll find the numbers just won't, the engagement won't stick. So I would recommend, with that in mind, that you could buy a mic for like 80, 90 euro, something decent, a USB mic, you just plug it straight in, like the Blue Yeti. It's a solid one that a lot of my beginner clients use. And it's the Snowball either as well. It's even cheaper. So easy to use, plug in USB and solid. And apart from that, pair of headphones and a good internet connection, and you're away.
Yeah.
And
have you had something, say that the quality of the audio has been sent to you and you're like, oh my God, and like there's literally nothing I can do with this, or I'm going to try my hardest and work at trying to save the audio?
Yeah, Oh yeah. I mean, people will just, hi, I'm from whatever, Florida, and I've just recorded this podcast. Now it is outdoors and we were on a rooftop and it was kind of windy and you could hear babies crying and there's a dog dying and there's a lot of things happening in the area, but we need this podcast by tomorrow. So, I'll have a listen to this thing and I'll say, oh, look, thanks for your message, whatever. I'm going to review this and see what happens. And yeah, by and large, when people say the audio is bad and they're not great with audio, it's terrible. It's people can really, they might have an expectation of audio engineers, audio whatever. They can make miracles, or it just doesn't happen. So yeah, I've had to tell people, look, I can't isolate that baby crying, and when that fire truck passed you maybe should have stopped talking for a minute and waited until the alarm is just until he was down the street, just a few blocks, just enough so the people can't hear it. But these are the things you pick up along the way. If you don't know about podcasting or recording audio, you won't pick that up immediately. You might be deep in the conversation of forgetting that it's being recorded and therefore not be aware that there's a lot of noise happening in the area. So this is just by and large, when that does happen, I say, look, I could treat this, but people aren't going to listen to it, not in full at least. A couple of friends might listen to it, press play and hit pause, or sorry, hit mute, to get, but ultimately the people you want to listen to this and the image you're going to give off isn't going to be good for you. So I would recommend just re-recording it again, step into a quiet room and just give it another shot, just in a better environment.
Ours wasn't great at the start, but Scotty made it better.
I'm going to say
Scotty's the man.
it was yours at the start, and then you can have that. They were good podcasts.
But even listening back now, you can tell the difference in it and how bad. Even though at the time we thought we were doing all right, but when you hear what the good quality sounds like, it's the difference.
And Dave, what do you think the reason people get into podcasting? Because obviously, we could probably got into podcasting because we just something as a hobby to do. I don't think any of us are kind of planning to leave our jobs over this, But,
oh, I am.
Scotty used to keep saying it every week.
I love it. Yes.
But is there people out there that are making a solid yearly wage on podcasts, or is it always a sideline gig?
Well, for start in the beginning, I always say the main objective should be to just provide value to people for whatever you're doing, whether that be education or inspiring, entertaining, whatever. That should be the goal for a long time. The goal shouldn't be, guys, we need to monetize this by month number one. Strangely enough, some people have gotten to the stage of monetization quite early because they're in a specific niche of business and they know how to pitch to big clients. They know that end. They just don't know the podcasting end. So if I help them create this podcasting end, then all of a sudden they've just created another link in the chain. They've talked to X brand and that brand said, oh, this is good. You're talking to this audience. Perfect. Let's do business. I'll sponsor you. Here's the ad. But overall, it takes quite some time for people to get to a monetization point of like you're talking about, because the brands are going to be interested in a few things. Who's listening exactly, like the demographic? Are they people that could possibly interact or buy their product or service? How long are they listening? And are they active buyers? Are they in that age group? And downloads. They're looking for downloads, like all quantifiable stuff. But sometimes I've dealt with a couple of clients that really talk the talk, and without even having a 500 downloads under their belt, they've talked to brands and they've been interested and they've taken them on board and they've started a sponsorship. So I have one big client that is doing big numbers from a monetization point of view, but they've done it as part of their business, but they could, like, judging by how well they've done, they could leave their main business and do this solely. But they haven't chosen to do that. They've just done it. They do a few hours every couple of days or whatever to record a few episodes, and the rest is done for them. But
is that money coming from sponsorships, or is it for like a Spotify give you 25 cents per 1,000 downloads or something like that? Or what's the biggest money that you get from a podcast?
So yeah, it's sponsorship. Like, honestly, definitely. Yeah. Spotify are pennies. Yeah. And, YouTube is a longer burn because, you're going to need to be a million bloody hits before you hit anything good, like from a monetization point of view. So sponsorship is the easier win, the faster win, because if you are getting to the stage of getting, 10,000 plays to a podcast video minimum every time you post something, that's a serious value, and people will pay for that, and that's the easier win and where the bigger money is. Longer game is YouTube and Spotify, etc. Because they're just the bigger numbers you have, the smaller.
What email would you write to Super Value tomorrow if you want a sponsorship? Like, let's say we brought in like bourbon creams and stuff like that, and just ask Super Value to sponsor us.
That's going to say which business in trim.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
product placement.
Which business in trim is most likely to take us on?
I have to go to head office.
Niners. I think Niners and trim. Is it Niners or Ninas?
Oh,
Niners. Just wear a suit, turn up, and just tell them what it is.
Yeah. Can we wear JB Waffle uniforms or tracksuit bottoms?
Yeah.
Even better, branded material. You could wear Super Value tops for them. Just have Super Value stuff lying around the background. Just absolutely subliminal.
Super Value
Why now?
in the press at home, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely. And just have Bertie say every few minutes, you might want to buy a coffee on the way home.
Yeah.
At your local Super Value, etc.
I don't mind product placement.
I'm not going to put Dave on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot, Bertie. When do you think podcasting was first, I'm going to say invented, or when it was first credited? When do you think it was, it started?
Like when I started listening to podcasts?
No. When did podcasting start officially? What year? Give me a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Whenever Joe Rogan started on YouTube.
He was the first ever, was he?
Yeah.
No, later than that. Or earlier than that, sorry. Earlier than that.
Earlier.
Yeah. So...
Like 09 or something?
No, 2004. Adam Curry and Dave, I'm going to say Wiener, but Weiner are credited with inventing the medium. And then in 2005, Apple iTunes 4.9 is released, fully supportive of podcasts. So 2004, 2005 is when it first kicked off.
And they were just talking, same as podcasts are now.
Yeah, and George Bush was the first president to deliver his weekly address in the form of a podcast.
Big podcaster.
There you go.
Podbush.
Wow.
Yeah, him and I suppose Adam Carolla then was one of the first ones. But when did you first start listening to podcasts? I know for me it was 2010 roughly when I started.
October 2019.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh my God!
What
you're
date?
a new convert. Yeah. Was October 2019?
Yes.
So just pre-COVID.
Yes.
Right. That was good timing, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Sarah was playing with O'Mahony's. They had won the junior championship, won the Leinster Junior, and was playing Dunmore down in Cork.
You were trying to drown her out by something.
No. I was doing something else, and I didn't go down with her, so I drove down by myself.
Right.
And it was in the evening time, or was it the morning time? I can't remember. And the radio was no good, so I said, "Oh, what's this podcast that I had seen advertised or whatever?" And I started listening to it then, and I listened to a couple episodes down the way. And then that was the first one. And then when I looked into the Spotify, because I had only recently updated Spotify to like the paying one. So because I wanted to download things for the gym to play playlists because I had no coverage in the gym.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to them, and then I got into more kind of sports specific ones and sports science ones and found them, and then other sport related ones then as well. So
No way.
What about you, Dave? When was your first kind of introduction into podcast? I know radio you're always kind of around it, but when was your first experience of it?
It was probably pre-COVID, to be honest with you. I was a late bloomer as well with this. Like it was it was just the likes of your usual Joe Rogan, and then I was into some DJing podcasts as well, and I was just trying to get some free game and just trying to get some value and seeing what I can implement in daily life with the DJ world, and then obviously just some funny stuff and random nut jobs on Joe Rogan as well.
Yeah. And would you miss, say, there's obviously a thrill with live radio, say something's going out live and you're at a desk and you have to have it perfect, or the jingle has to play. Do you miss that live element of audio?
Oh yeah, man. They call it, there's a million names for it, but some people called it desk op. Paul did it as well in Today FM. Like that element to it is like, that's exhilarating. You're sitting there and you're in control of all the things that are happening there live. You've got your presenter on one channel, you got your music on another, you got your second music on another, and you've gotten jingles here and all that kind of good stuff, music beds, all of that, and you're just like an octopus, like surrounded by these faders, and you're just like in control of everything. Your head is in a million places. That's the part of radio that's a lot of fun. Now, since automation kicked in and RCS and all of that. Like there's a lot of software out there now that you don't actually have to do as much of that anymore. So really it's just one or two faders now. Now that's not to say every station does that, but there's a lot of automation that you can do now. So that element to it isn't happening as much anymore. The live.
And
So
you obviously really liked that job and was really passionate about it. But did you start up doing these podcasts just to be your own boss, or because you didn't got fed up traveling in town or on social?
Yeah, COVID kind of proved that for everybody. It's like, yeah, what is this traveling to work thing? But yeah, it's a mixture of both, to be honest with you. I think I've always wanted to work for myself and to really give it my all, and kind of, yeah, it's a weird feeling, because years ago I did this, but what I did it for DJing, and I said, look, I'm taking a year off, I'm going to do some DJing, and that was an amazing year. But you know, regarding to it being sustainable and growing, and you know, money as well, it was more for passion than anything else, to be honest with you. So that wasn't sustainable. So I did a year of that, and then went back to work to radio and continued on, etc. But then I did get to a point again where I got the itch, and I said, no, I really want to start something. And with DJing being dead, then etc. I discovered online. But yeah, I definitely prefer being my own boss over having someone else say, no, that's not good or whatever, because yeah, it just feels so much better to be able to judge your own work. Definitely.
You have that freedom, don't you? Just express yourself a little bit.
Can we
That's it.
put him on the spot
We're
Yeah.
gonna put him
with
on
a
the spot?
question? Yeah. Have you listened to this podcast?
Have you listened to this one? No, I haven't.
Fair enough.
I love you guys, but I haven't done it. Paul said he was in with
I
us
haven't
one
even
night.
listened to this podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us listen to it, to be honest.
Amazing. I have no time these days. Just a side note on that. I have very little time these days to listen to anything.
Yeah.
If I'm running, I just listen to hardcore rock music.
Well,
And
my
that's about it.
follow-on question is going to be a moot point. So
After the podcast is done, I'm editing. I'll just edit out him saying no. and
Edit
I'll-
that bit out.
Yes, I have listened to it.
well, I was looking to see, did he have any pointers on how we could improve? Which are
Just have
Don't
Dave
bring me
every
on
week.
was the biggest pointer.
Yeah.
That's class. And would you ever see yourself going back to DJing at all if that took off? Is the itch still there to do that? Because you've serious talent when it comes to DJing.
Just thanks, man. But they'd been sitting there gathering dust. But I have to say, I've done a few gigs since COVID, but they were just things I promised people I would do. I did a wedding recently. I'm talking the other night, but that was the hang up the headphones gig. That was the I'm done now gig. But I don't know. In a few years, we'll see what happens. But for now, it's very much, I've no time to jump on this stuff at the moment now. But every once in a while, I might throw the headphones on if I've half an hour free or something, and I might just practice a little bit. But that's just because something to do. But yeah, regarding going out there and gigging and that, no, I don't think so.
the
I
decks
did
are in
some
the
gigs
corner
with you,
calling.
Scotty,
his
do you
name.
remember?
Say it again.
I did some gigs with you, Scotty. Do you remember the DJ drummer gigs?
Yeah, that's right. Where did we play together?
Kells, I think, was one of them.
Kells is right. Yeah, and did we do a place in Virginia or something as well?
Wow, we may have. Yeah. The only club in Virginia. I don't know which one it is, but it was exclusively.
Grammar.
No, it's before that. I think it was Club V or something.
Right.
I think you're right. You're right. Good memory. Yep. That's it.
So where do you see now? You've got an entrepreneurial mind, and you want to keep on pushing forward with something. Where do you see the business that you're doing now going in a few years, or what's your plans for the next few years?
Well, the plans is to just offer as many services to people as possible. A lot of people want the same thing, because the highly engaging things, the techniques that work, are just things that people want. So the likes of your video highlight clips, your animated captions, your really well produced podcasts are the things that are kind of sticking. So people are just, that's the one, that's kind of the service that's working at the moment, and people are consistently approaching me about it. So that's something I hope to continue to do. And then at some point, maybe I might get into a brick and mortar and actually have a business here in Dublin. We'll see what happens. But for now, it's very much remote. We're a remote team. I'm still very new to it all. Like, I have to actually throw myself into the enterprise board, and have to get a business mentor on to actually coach me on some areas, because I'm kind of just like swinging in the dark, but I'm getting a lot of wins, but I am still swinging in the dark. So it's all been going so well so far. But I from a scalability point of view, yeah, I think I might need a little bit of direction. But yeah, it's podcasting. Where does it go from here? I mean, some say the metaverse. I mean, there's actually some metaverse podcasts. Have you heard of these guys?
I have a business idea, all right, under that, like a VR podcast.
Right.
Where you like two guys are sitting and you're sitting there with the VR and you can talk to him talking, you can look at
There
him.
you go.
It's bad enough listening to him, let alone looking at him.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Imagine you can just sit down with your VR goggles.
Sorry, I'm only joking.
Is that what you're talking about, Dave? The VR goggles, and you can literally just
Yeah,
two
that's
guys
it
talking?
exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. And funny enough, someone said it to me a while back. It was during COVID. Someone said, "Oh, would you be interested in doing a metaverse DJ gig?" And I was like, "Will you stop the lights?" So no, I didn't do it. But someone sent me a video of like footage. All you could see his hands and like 2 or 3 people dancing around these little avatars. It was just the strangest experience I've ever seen. But yeah. I just thought the world can't go that direction.
What do you think of metaverse? Is that like, is there a future in metaverse actually, like as in seriousness? Like,
funny you say that. Like, isn't it going into a kind of bit of a down spiral at the moment? Is the
it has to be the way to go. Like VR is the future. Like,
is it though? Is connecting with another human in person not?
but what if that person's in Australia?
Well, then get a plane home.
Yeah, if they're
What
not
about the movies and the hologram comes up?
What?
What about the movies where the hologram comes up? That'd be cool.
Yeah, or the gigs like the likes of like Queen and having a hologram of Freddie.
Yeah.
Did
you see they tested something? I've seen it a few times on social media, but it's like this. It's like a little box, and when you step into it, it transmits your image, your sound, everything, to
like Star Wars.
Not use a person, but the image of you to the next person that has the box. If they're in a different country or whatever, it's all via like high. I don't know, bloody fiber broadband.
To Luke.
Sorry.
Oh, it's right.
gets
Yeah,
messages
yeah.
to
It's
Luke.
R2D2 would send out the.
That was
message.
true. Yeah. So
There you go.
R2D2. The Star Wars were just way ahead of their time.
Could you shift through it?
Could you? No, well, there's no physical touching. I don't think. Is
They'll
there?
have one in coppers.
In Big Bang,
And one in the
Big
palace.
Bang Theory, Howard made the thing that you could like.
You have to get a body double. You just get one of your friends to stand there.
Yeah, I will speak. Yeah.
Here, Ben, turn around.
Lads, this is descending into madness.
Oh,
A lot of green bums.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the waffle game.
So, Dave, do you want questions A or questions B?
Go for B.
You didn't even rock paper scissors over this week.
No, we didn't.
No, you can't really do that, can you?
Metaverse. rock,
Yeah, we
paper,
could.
Um,
You can
okay.
see his hands.
So, question number 1: which country is hosting the 2022 World Cup?
Who's going first? Is it David or?
That's
David,
That's
he-
Dave.
This
He's
is me.
got B.
I'm gonna say Australia.
Oh, John,
Okay.
did you know what that was?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
you
I
did.
think you're going to win this game.
Okay, Dave.
Finally,
Will we go 1-1 or all of Dave's?
All of Dave's.
No, go 1-on-1. Go back and
1-on-1?
forth.
Okay.
Oh, back and forth.
Okay, okay.
So John, by default, you get questions at A. Okay.
It's the same one.
No. Dave is questions B. Okay. So John, your first question is: what country won the FIFA World Cup the most?
Oh my lord. Oh well, that's yeah. Okay.
Portugal.
Oh, that was a terrible guess.
That was a terrible guess. Okay, Dave, back to you. Question number 2: what is the name of the award for best player?
Best Player Award.
I would have guessed that.
It's
Good work,
it
Dave.
probably is that in another language though.
That's a
Isn't
good
it?
guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, John. Question number 2: what
Yes.
country won the 2018 FIFA World Cup?
2018.
Yes.
France.
Okay. Question number 3
That's amazing.
for Dave.
Fair play.
Which country hosted the World Cup in 2018?
Oh man. Jeez, I really
Oh.
that.
France.
Good guess.
Decent guess, yeah.
Okay, back to John. How often is the FIFA World Cup?
Every 4 years.
Oh,
Okay, back
you
Dave.
know things.
Okay,
Presidency.
question number 4, Dave. Who is the only football player to have won 3 World Cups?
Oh, that's a tough.
Ronaldo.
Good guess, yeah.
Good
Oh,
guess.
good guess.
I would have guessed that one too.
Okay, John, question number 4. What country won the first football World Cup? The very first one.
Very first one.
Yes.
Italy.
Okay, last question, Dave. Who won the Best Young Player award in 2018 World Cup?
Oh my God, Bertie. These are tough.
Young player.
Young lad. Don't know any young lads.
He would have been young back in 2018. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Still.
Okay.
No, I genuinely no names.
Can
No
I push?
names.
Can I push you for a first name? Just try a first name.
Oh, John.
Okay, so John, if it begins with J, can we give it to him?
No.
I
come
think
on.
we should. I think we should give it to
Okay, last question, John. Who scored the Hand of God goal against England?
Maradona.
Yeah, that's he got. I think A was the easier ones. I think
Okay.
Dave got shafted this week. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah,
Happens
listen.
every week.
This
Okay.
is my first
All
week. I
good.
didn't get shafted, Dave.
Well, congrats, man.
Thanks, dude.
No green
Glad you
here,
came
bum.
on.
Okay, so quick rundown of Dave's questions. The first answer was guitar. It's all over the news.
Yeah.
The second one
Oh,
is
give you a clue.
the golden ball. Next then is Russia. Then 2018 the World Cup
Shit.
was in Russia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Pele won 3 World Cups, and
Boy,
Kylian Mbappe is
Kylian.
won the young best player in 2018.
I didn't know that. you
Now
go.
for John.
Yes.
Brazil has won the most World Cups.
So wait, did Dave get
Yeah,
any?
whatever.
Did Dave get any?
No, Dave did not.
Hey.
So I just need one to win.
Okay. Which country won the 2018 FIFA World Cup? It was indeed France.
Yes,
Viva la France.
Jesus, that was a good guess.
Okay. How
Fair play.
often
Well
is the FIFA World Cup? Every 4 years.
Is he going to get 5 this time?
Well done. What country won the first World Cup? It was Uruguay.
Oh, who would have guessed that?
And the last one,
Well,
who scored?
You're
before
a
you go on,
guy.
Where was the first World Cup hosted?
I don't know.
I think it was also in Uruguay.
What was it?
Yeah.
So the host
Uruguay.
country won.
Mm.
Who scored the Hand of God goal when Argentina beat England in
Cher.
1986?
Was it Cher?
In Mexico? Diego Maradona.
Oh, right, okay.
He also
Hey.
scored an incredible solo goal from the halfway line and left many an English defender on their backside.
It was
But nobody remembers that goal.
a thing of beauty. Do you know what I saw actually this week? The crest for the Iranian team. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So England are in a group with USA, Iran, and
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter the other team. But basically, when England play Iran, Iran's crest has the letters IRA,
Oh.
and
in a green circle.
in a green circle and nothing else. So England will be playing IRA.
Oh.
They have something about that. You know the British Embassy, the street that the British Embassy on is called Bobby Sands Street.
No.
They renamed it because the British Embassy is on it. So there's something else to that too.
So my shell bomb for today,
Mhm.
the term, I like the terms, these terms and where
Yeah.
they came from. So the term mad as a hatter. Did you hear
Yeah,
that?
tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. So the origin, no, you didn't already know it. Everyone thinks that it's from what's the name of that? Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Right. But in the 17th century, France, poisoning occurred among hat makers who used mercury for the hat felt, and the Mad Hatter disease was marked by shyness, irritability, and tremors that would make a person appear mad.
Oh, wow. So
Isn't that crazy?
they put it in the movie from that?
That's that's where the term came
Because
from.
doesn't the Mad Hatter have a hat?
Mad as a hatter, yeah.
Oh.
And that's where it's like mad, you're as mad as a hatter.
Oh,
Isn't that
Mercury,
interesting?
huh? Who knew?
There you go.
Not to be sniffing it.
Yeah, I think we all know not to stay away from mercury
Yeah,
at this
stay away
stage.
from Mercury.
Give me your did you know?
Oh yeah, hang on there now. Just shuffle my sheets here.
Mhm.
Okay, so did you know horses and cows can sleep standing up? If you've ever been in a field, you can also tip a cow over and then it wakes up. It's hilarious.
Oh, hold on a second. If you tip a cow over, does it not die?
No.
I heard cow tipping was dangerous for the cow.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's
yeah,
really bad
but
for them.
it becomes disorientated, but it just gets back up again.
Have
right,
you,
so it
have you
doesn't-
done this?
Yeah, because it
physically
goes on its
yourself?
back. It's like a sheep; it can't get up.
Have you done it? Have you tipped a cow?
I may or may not have
Oh,
tried.
well-
That's illegal and that's recorded.
Oh, it's yeah.
It's
bribe,
ridiculous.
bribe. We can bribe him.
It's ridiculously hard.
Unless there's own cows, maybe.
Blackmail.
But they can only dream when lying down.
No.
Yeah, horses dream of winning Cheltenham, and cows dream of being milked. I don't
Wait a
know.
minute. How do they know that?
By their REM.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Actually,
you
did-
can't actually measure that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was
As
gonna
in, the horses dream of winning Cheltenham.
I'm sure that's what they do. I don't know.
Jesus.
What else do horses
Did you just
dream of?
make that up?
That part? I
This is a
didn't, yeah.
fact. This is a factual podcast. People listen to this, Bertie, for facts.
How do you win
The
any
fact
of the
that they
Brothel games?
that they dream when lying down is a fact. Whether they dream of winning Cheltenham or not, I don't know.
Do you have a Robbie Kennedy or a joke?
I had one, but it's gone out of my mind. But basically, I could say the one I was saying earlier on,
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
because whenever Robbie goes swimming, dolphins appear out of nowhere, regardless of where he swims. Just dolphins appear, and he grabs the back of its fin and he swims along with it. Swimming pools, swimming pool, there one in Trim, like Mosney and Everton.
Funny
Dolphins.
Enough, it was quite
Honestly.
awkward when we were in Prague. Actually, he was
following
having a
around.
shower, and all I could hear was that the like.
That wasn't
what?
the dolphin.
I just
That's
know
not
what
a
he was
dolphin.
doing in there.
I have a sum on this day. If you'd like to hear.
Go for it, man. Let's do
Okay.
it. And then
Yeah,
So
that's-
it's Frank Bruno's birthday today.
get out.
Who's that?
He's 60.
Boxer.
Boxer, yeah.
Don't know.
And then
wears
in
boxers.
2009, the Twilight Saga started, and they all ruined their lives.
Never once watched the Twilight movie.
So the first one, New Moon, I think. Is that what it's called? I
Have
don't
you guys all seen Twilight?
I've seen 2 of them. Yeah.
know. Yeah, seen some of them.
Did you sit down with a girl to watch it?
Not great,
No, my daughter.
Okay.
So
No,
yes,
that's
actually,
good
she's a
enough
girl.
ex-
Yeah, yeah.
Good
So
enough
I
excuse.
Yeah, I sat down with a girl.
On this day in 2003, a 16-year-old Lionel Messi makes his official debut for FC Barcelona
Whoa.
when he comes on as a substitute in a friendly against Porto.
16. What were we doing at 16? Not
Um,
playing for Barcelona. That's what.
No, I was barely playing for my own club.
Some
And
lad.
just
Some
not. I don't. It's not like for birthdays or anything, but it's International Man's Day on the 17th of October.
Go on, man.
The chain